This is One Sentence News, a daily podcast featuring 3 news stories with a sentence-long summary and 1 sentence of context apiece. I'm Colin Wright. This is a sponsored message. I've been using Anchor as my podcast host for a while now, and it's been a pleasure to use. Anchor offers benefits that most other hosts do not. It's free to use, but it also has a collection of tools that allow you to create a podcast completely within the Anchor website or smartphone app. They distribute your show to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other distribution channels without any additional effort on your part, and you can make money from your podcast without any minimum audience size. So you can use it as a more traditional podcast host like I do, but it's also got everything you need to start a podcast from scratch. If you're keen to give it a shot, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's Thursday, January 5th, 2023. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, House adjourns until tonight after McCarthy loses 6th Speaker vote. House Representative Kevin McCarthy, who until recently served as the House Minority Leader and who was the presumed next Speaker of the House, now that the Republicans have taken the majority in that wing of Congress, has been unable to get his fellow Republicans to cast enough votes to put him over the requisite majority mark. If all representatives participate, 218 votes are necessary to win the role of Speaker, and McCarthy has only been able to get just over 200 votes in the 6 tallies that have been taken thus far, though the House is set to reconvene on Wednesday night. That shortage is the result of efforts by an opposing further-right team of Republican lawmakers who want more power for themselves and their fellow far-right colleagues. Voting will continue until the deadlock is resolved and someone takes the majority, and this is the first time more than a single vote has been required to elect a speaker since 1923. And if you'd like to know a bit more about what's happening with this particular story, I wrote a quick bit of analysis at my new project, Notes on the News, which you can find at notesonthenews.com. From BBC News, foreigners now banned from buying homes in Canada. A 2-year ban on non-Canadian citizens buying homes in Canada went into effect on January 1st. This ban is meant to help slow rampant inflation in what's become one of the world's most unaffordable housing markets, where average home prices have grown to be more than 11 times median household income after taxes. There's been a fair bit of criticism leveled at this ban, including critique of the logic behind it, as fewer than 6% of homeowners in Ontario and British Columbia, where home prices are highest, are non-Canadians. The ban does include a few exemptions, including for students who have been in country for at least 5 years, refugees, and people with work permits. And from Axios, Donald Jr. signs 7-figure podcast deal with Rumble. The son of former President Donald Trump Jr., has signed onto a deal with right-wing alternative video platform Rumble for a reported 7-figure sum. The announcement for this deal says that Trump Jr. will be hosting a podcast called Triggered with Don Jr. on the alternative YouTube-like service, though the show will air live and will not be available later via RSS, which would seem to suggest this isn't actually a podcast, but more of a live video show. Rumble has also inked deals with Glenn Greenwald, Russell Brand, and other right-wing celebrities in recent months as part of an effort to expand its reach. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com, and you can support this and other related projects like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.